Welcome to Image Deco. In today's video, we're stepping into a charming world of timeless beauty with designing a small centric garden old-world charm for porches, yards, and tiny patios. Whether you have a compact front yard, a tiny patio, or just a porch craving for elegance, a centric garden layout with vintage appeal could be the magical touch your outdoor space needs. We'll explore how to capture the old-world essence using timeless materials, lush foliage, and European-inspired layouts, even in the tiniest areas. From choosing the right focal points to layering textures and using verticality, this video is brimming with ideas to bring personality and function into your garden space. If you're into home design and creative outdoor transformations, be sure to subscribe to Image Deco, hit that like button, and leave a comment sharing your favorite garden element. Let's dive into an enchanting garden journey right here, right now. A small centric garden design works beautifully in tiny spaces because of its symmetry and visual balance. This layout typically places a central feature, like a fountain, urn, or tree, as the anchor point. From there, pathways or garden beds radiate outwards, creating a sense of expansion even in a compact area. This classical technique is inspired by European courtyard designs, often found in French and Italian villas. By adopting this concept for a tiny patio or yard, you can replicate a sense of timeless charm and order. Use gravel or cobblestone pathways to divide sections, and add symmetrical planters or matching chairs to reinforce balance. Even the smallest balcony can benefit from this format by using potted arrangements and vertical symmetry. A circular rug or mosaic tile underfoot can suggest this structure where planting space is limited. It's about evoking the feeling of a structured garden retreat, with every element purposefully positioned. When creating a centric garden, nothing captures the eye like a well-chosen focal point. This could be a vintage stone fountain, a birdbath with aged patina, a classical urn overflowing with seasonal blooms, or even a small sculptural piece. These objects serve both aesthetic and organizational purposes. They anchor the layout and provide a sense of place. A beautiful fountain doesn't need to be elaborate. Even a tabletop model with gentle trickling water can lend old-world atmosphere. When choosing your focal point, think in terms of texture, history, and scale. Iron, aged stone, and weathered terracotta are ideal materials that provide timeless charm. Consider placing a bench nearby to frame the scene and invite moments of rest. By keeping the focal piece centered and clear of clutter, it becomes the heart of the garden, tying together other design elements and creating a feeling of calm sophistication that echoes centuries-old garden traditions. One of the most evocative features in an old-world-inspired garden is a meandering path that draws you in. In a small centric garden, you can recreate this experience using curved stepping stones, brick pavers, or crushed gravel arranged in concentric circles or spirals. These materials feel organic and aged, offering tactile richness underfoot. As you follow the pathway to the garden's center, you create a narrative journey, enhancing the charm and making the space feel much larger than it is. Flank the paths with fragrant herbs like lavender and thyme, or tuck in moss between stones for added softness. Decorative edging, whether from low hedges or stone borders, helps reinforce structure without feeling rigid. Use gentle curves rather than sharp angles to promote a relaxed flow. The path not only serves a practical role but becomes a central design feature, guiding the eye and reinforcing the intimacy and elegance of your garden escape. A huge part of capturing old-world garden charm lies in your plant selection. Choose plants that have stood the test of time: roses, lavender, boxwood, rosemary, thyme, and ivy. These plants offer both visual appeal and aromatic delight. Even if you're limited to containers or raised beds, these species thrive in confined spaces and lend themselves to trimming and shaping. For a lush look, Group plants in odd numbers and vary the heights and textures to create a layered garden tapestry. Boxwoods clipped into spheres or low hedges offer structure, while lavender and climbing vines soften edges. Don't shy away from mixing flowering plants with herbs. This blend was common in traditional kitchen and courtyard gardens. Select a color palette with muted, harmonious tones, creams, soft pinks, dusty purples, and sage greens to evoke antiquity and elegance. Let your plantings feel slightly overgrown and natural, rather than manicured to maintain the timeless, romantic effect. Your seating and garden furniture choices can make a dramatic difference in how your small, centric garden feels. Vintage wrought iron chairs, a small bistro table, or an antique wooden bench instantly convey a sense of age and style. Look for distressed finishes, scroll designs, and patina that speak to history. Don't overcrowd the space. Sometimes one beautifully chosen seat is enough to suggest an inviting spot to rest and reflect. Soft cushions with floral or toile patterns can add both comfort and charm. Think of your seating as an extension of the garden's character, not just a place to sit. Surround it with climbing plants, potted flowers, or a tall mirror to reflect light and greenery. Even a vintage lantern or candle holder placed nearby enhances the ambience. This garden nook becomes a place not just to sit, but to savor, a slow-living corner wrapped in beauty and quiet elegance. You don't need a sprawling yard to enjoy the serenity of a centric garden. Even a narrow porch or apartment balcony can accommodate this idea. Start by identifying the center. This could be a large pot with a miniature olive or citrus tree, a tiered planter, or a compact water feature. From there, arrange plants and decor elements around it in symmetrical patterns. Hanging baskets and wall-mounted planters are perfect for vertical layering, making the space feel lush and immersive. Consider using multi-level plant stands or repurposed wooden crates to add height without crowding the floor. Use compact garden stools or folding chairs to keep traffic flow open. Weathered finishes, muted tones, and vintage accents go a long way in reinforcing the style. The key is intimacy and charm, turning the smallest outdoor patch into a private haven with old-world sensibilities and a thoughtfully arranged, garden-centric design. One feature that instantly transforms your small centric garden into an oasis is a water element. Whether it's a wall-mounted trickling spout, a tabletop fountain, or a classic pedestal bird bath, water adds movement and sound that enhances tranquility. Look for stone or aged metal materials to reinforce the vintage theme. Surround the water feature with lush greenery, creeping plants, and softly rustling grasses for a layered, natural effect. Place it slightly off-center if space demands, but design the surrounding area to lead the eye toward it. At night, subtle garden lighting, like lanterns or solar-powered uplights, can make the water shimmer and extend your enjoyment into the evening. Water draws birds too, which adds another dynamic layer to your garden. The gentle sound of water can mask city noise, giving even a tiny patio a secluded, timeless feel. This sensory detail is key to creating a space that feels magical and alive. Maintaining the timeless charm of your small centric garden requires a bit of seasonal attention. Periodically refresh potted plants, prune climbing vines, and re-gravel pathways to keep them tidy. Swap out blooms with the seasons. Think tulips and daffodils in spring, lavender and roses in summer, ornamental kale and ivy in autumn. Clean and protect wrought iron furniture, and treat wooden benches to maintain their vintage look. Don't be afraid to rearrange pieces slightly to refresh the space without disrupting its flow. Re-oil terracotta pots or age new ones with yogurt or lime wash for added patina. A well-loved garden should feel curated yet alive, always evolving slightly. These seasonal touches not only maintain beauty, but allow the garden to reflect the passing of time, a key element in old-world design. Embrace the charm of imperfection and the poetry of time-worn edges. That's what makes the space feel real, grounded, and personal. Designing a small centric garden filled with old-world charm is all about thoughtful intention and embracing beauty in simplicity. Whether you're working with a porch, patio, or petite backyard, this style transforms even the tiniest footprint into a sanctuary of elegance and calm. Focus on balance, texture, and nostalgic elements like aged stone, fragrant plants, and cozy furniture. It's less about perfection and more about atmosphere, each item adding to the story. We hope this video has sparked ideas for your own garden transformation. If you enjoyed today's journey, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Image Deco, and comment below with your favorite element. Have you tried adding a centric feature to your garden before? We'd love to hear your experiences. Thank you for joining us. Until next time, may your garden be ever blooming with timeless charm and peaceful vibes.